The year is 1847. A British Army deserter is travelling home during the worst times of the famine. Welcome to Black 47, or as I like to call it, the Connemara Commando. This is fair use under the fair use policy. Please make sure to watch the film in full if you haven't already. Like and subscribe while you're here. Drop me a comment on which film to juice next. Sound. Back to the video. Oh look, it's Hugo Weaving in a film about vendettas against the British. Who would have thought it? Oh, wait, no, never mind. He's interrogating a rebel, isn't he? Typical.
You're a puppet of the crown.
Loyal, some change.
So feck off back home to England then.
Well, he's got you there, Hugo. You can't lie, he's got you there. Hugo's character is called Hannah, so I will be referring to him exclusively as Hugo.
Well, Inspector, has the prisoner been cooperative?
Not really, no.
He's dead.
Martin Feeney here is our hero of the piece. He doesn't talk much, but he's sad. His mother and brother have died while he was away. It's a sad movie. What do you expect? He gets told how his mother starved with fever and wouldn't take the soup, and his brother was hanged for stabbing a bailiff who came to kick them out and ruin the roof. His uncle seems dodgy though, especially when his brother's widow gives him a scathing look and he scuttles off. She gives us the backstory of how hard it is in the West at the time. His brother could never forgive him for taking the king's shilling, and I think that hits home. She goes back to the house, leaving Martin all alone. Martin returns to the house, but the bailiffs are already there. They refuse his money and demand they leave the dwelling because it's an illegal tenancy. You can't just move in from the side of the road. They kick Martin to the floor, and he watches on as his nephew stabs a bailiff and is shot, killed in a similar manner to how his father was.
Urge to kill rising.
He's brought to the RIC barracks. They assume he's a deserter, as he's got military weapons on him, and he won't talk to them. He does right though. Marty gives the lad that calls him a deserter a look that says, "Don't worry lad, you'll be deserting your soul in no time." Then we get our first glimpse of the Connemara Commando, the Irish Rambo. He kicks his knife into one lad's open mouth and proceeds to batter the RIC men, all still while handcuffed. There's no stopping him now. They've awakened the beast of Ben Breen. He proceeds to kill all the RIC men and burn the barracks to the ground. His poor sister-in-law has died of the cold while he was gone, still clutching her sick daughter in her hands. Martin is set on a warpath. He is on a vendetta. A V for Vendetta. Oh, no, wrong film. Although, Hugo Weaving. Hugo Weaving is told to hunt down Feeney. Turns out they were in the army together. Hugo doesn't want to at all, to be honest. But he killed the prisoner from earlier on, and that's why he's in prison now. So they're using it against him. They're like, here, look. Do you want to get executed, or do you want to hunt down this lad that you used to know? And he's like, I will hunt down the lad I used to know. We cut to Feeney dragging a pig through the street. It's the pig that his uncle put in his house after his mother died. They have a bit of a confrontation. Feeney does not say much. Just pulls his knife out, taps it on the table. His uncle, knowing he's up shit creek, and being a rat of course, which is no good, takes out his gun, points at Feeney, shoots. But the powder's wet. And you know what they say about wet powder? Don't snort it. Don't shoot it. Feeney stands up, pushes him against the cupboard, slowly stabs him in the stomach. We get some bullshit about drink being the reason for the famine from this gobshite. He's called Pope, by the way. He's a fucking arsehole.
Drunkenness and fecklessness are the economics of the famine in the West.
And the continued crop failure.
Food for the contented slave, not the hardy and the brave.
He's meant to be finding Feeney, but let's be fair, Hugo's going to be doing all the work, isn't he?
You stand accused of stealing a sheep from the estate of Lord Kilmichael. What say you?
I myślę w Jan Justice. Jan myślę ta de kontrolcie.
English is the language of this court, Mr. O'Shea.
Feeney's on a full-on vendetta at this point. The next target, of course, is the judge who had his brother hanged. Feeney finds the judge anyway, The judge believes he's in the right. Look at him. I didn't commit the crimes. Feeney then hits him with the coldest retort ever. Oh, he got you there, Judge Dredd, didn't he, you fucking twat. It's great. I didn't mention the lad from Love Hates here as well. You know the one that shot the cat? He's the Joker now. Fair play, he's doing bits. So Hugo and his hunting squad have caught up to the uncle's house. He's only gone and cut off both their heads and put the pig's head on the uncle's body. But of course, the uncle's head's not here. Damn. That is a shame, isn't it? But as they say, snitches get stitches. Well, in this case, he got beheaded. The English boys need a translator. This is where we're introduced to Keneally, who is the only local man who speaks English. I like him. I think he's a good character. And for a pretty penny, he'll do a bit of translating for them. He explains how the uncle is a rent collector and brings them to the house where Feeney's mum lived, to where we do find the uncle's head. Feeney is on a warpath at this stage. No one is safe. Feeney's next target on his warpath is the soup station. We're met with a tent and a priest outside telling the Catholics not to go in. But you can tell the priest is well fed. It's all horrible, horrible business. Feeney pushes in, grabs a bowl, starts ladling soup. Boys are telling him, "We've been listening to this shite for ages. Don't ruin it for us." To which he grabs the Protestants and kicks them out of the tent.
It's Jack Levis. No, papist!
Hugo tells us how Feeney was the best soldier he ever met and how he saved his life once. Of course he's the best soldier you've ever met. He's literally the Irish Rambo. He's the Connemara Commando.
Never fought for the Queen, though.
Well, that was old and wrinkly. Dead now, of course.
And just for his mates. Fucking Irish.
Feeney confronts the landlord's agent, who's looking after the stockpile of grain. As the boys hunting him down arrive, all tense, he pops a shot off and wings the captain's horse to the floor. They try circle him, but he blasts through the doors on horseback. There's a moment when the two boys are looking at each other. Smacks Hugo with the butt of his gun and rides off. Guns with one bullet are really shit, aren't they? The two old friends meet in the night, and Feeney's sort of wondering, how comes when I did all of this stuff for the Brits it was fine, but when I come home and everyone's dead, and there's no justice for my family, suddenly I'm a murderer? I mean, it's a fair point when you think of it. Hugo says he won't leave without him, and Feeney has the coldest reply.
I won't be leaving here without you.
Then you won't leave at all.
Oof! Holy shit. Jim Broadbent's the landlord, and he's got
A great big bushy beard. Come on.
Well, he's got sideburns, but they're close enough. The Joker has a change of heart. He realises that the grain is being shipped to England. I mean, it doesn't matter. They just shoot him. He's dead right here. He's gone. And Jim Broadbent comes out and goes, "Oh, sorry for your boy." Be a great origin story for a villain, wouldn't it? Feeney appears in Pope's bedroom, but it's a trap.
Gotcha, you crafty Irish bastard!
Hugo's there waiting with his gun drawn, but he doesn't do anything. And at this point, he's able to kidnap the landlord instead. Also, this lad's a prick and shoots the landlord, who's on the back of a horse that's riding off. Fucking Egypt. Feeney refuses to speak English to the landlord.
I don't understand that Aboriginal nonsense. Speak English, man.
Laura.
Slater doesn't understand this at all. He's just like, "Speak English, man. Speak English, man." Hugo is now being tortured, which I'm assuming is a callback to the start of the film when he was torturing someone else. But he isn't talking. He's doing alright. So they just line him up for the firing squad. But as they're about to shoot, one of the redcoats gets nailed by Feeney instead. And there's a cool bit where Feeney's holding two of those stupid one-bullet guns, so he can get two lads down. Hey, Connemara Commando at his finest right there. He rides off on a horse, and Pope orders to shoot. But it's landlord Slater on the horse. Oh my god, what a big, smart, crafty man. Feeney is in the gaff, hacking up redcoats and loading his guns. He's some shot, I tell you. He's like Deadeye. The prick RIC lad from earlier manages to shoot him though. And then they have a scrap and they fall through a window. This allows Pope to know where they are. The locals are robbing their own grain back, which seems fair to me. I don't really know if that's robbing, if you've grown it and you've looked after it. It seems alright. Hugo and Keneally exchange looks. It's a nice moment. He's going to save the day. Feeney collapses from the bullet wound and tells Hugo to go to America and not fight them. As he slowly passes away, Hugo closes his eyelids and lets him finally rest. Hugo is at a crossroad. Go to America or kill Pope. And that's when the credits roll and it's left ambiguous. Oof. What did he do? You tell me. So, let me know in the comments, what do you think he did?